everybody, I'm Autistic Genius, and today and Friday we are doing a double whammy, two-parter, exciting, awesome, saucy, we are discussing executive function. What is executive function? Let's find out. Executive functions are skills everyone uses to organise and act on information. That's what they are. So if you have information, these are the skills that you need to have to act upon them in a very good and effective way. And maybe if you're autistic, you may struggle with this more than most. Some autistic people actually could be amazing at this. Some are awful at it. And this website, understood.org, gives us the 8 things, the 8 skills, so to speak, that executive function covers. Awesome sauce. Number 1, impulse control. What is impulse control? We all know that is. It's controlling our impulses. Impulse control helps your child think before acting. Think before we act. Now, sometimes with autism, with me anyway, I will see something and do it without even the thought process even happening. So it's almost like you see it, you think it, you do it. Yeah? Or you see it, think it, and you think, that's a bad idea, I won't do it. Whereas autism people go, see it, do it. There's no thought. It's gone. And it's just, and then you afterwards you go, boom, it's like natural instinct. It's like an animal instinct impulse. It just happens. And kids with weak impulse control might blurt out inappropriate things. Like, for example, when I shout silly things at teachers without thinking, or I may hit someone without thinking, so I'm that angry. So instead of holding it in and going, oh, what should I do? And they're also more likely to engage in risky behaviour. As I've said, people with autism can have a bad sense of danger. So they won't get why things are dangerous. Partly because they've never been hurt by it. So number 2, emotional control. Emotional control helps your child keep his feelings in check, his or her feelings in check. So basically, emotional control, if you're feeling angry, you might go, I'll put the anger away for later. If you're feeling so happy that you can't, that you're just like, you may learn ways to just kind of, if you're feeling sad, and you don't know why, you may learn ways to just kind of go, put the sadness away and I'll deal with it later. Kids with weak emotional control might overreact. That's ridiculous! People do not overreact when they have weak emotional control. That is the silliest thing I've ever heard. They can have trouble dealing with criticism and regrouping when something goes wrong. When I talk about tunnel vision, it goes one way, and then when something happens, like somewhere you have to regroup, or a criticism or something is thrown at you, that makes the tunnel just go, and then it's just like shattered on the floor, and you look at it and you just go, what do I do? And that's what they mean by regrouping. A criticism can actually throw an autistic person straight off. They do something really well and they're like, oh yeah, they're doing it really well, and they're doing it their way, that works really well, and it does get the job done sometimes. Sometimes it may not, sometimes it does. And they do it, and someone says you've done it wrong, and they're like, but it's right, because nobody's wrong. No, it's right. Which is why sometimes exams are sometimes a show your working thing on exams, because a lot of the time people may find ways of doing things that are easier for them, but they can get, although it is right what they've done, they've worked it out right, they can go, no, it's wrong because you need to do it this way so we can see it, and that's how you get your marks. Skill number 3, flexible thinking. What does that mean? Being flexible with your thoughts. Flexible thinking allows your child to adjust to the unexpected. Now, we like a bit of a routine, don't we? Our fellow autistic people, we love a good routine, so when someone changes it, we are like, oh hell no. Kids with rigid thinking don't roll with the punches. I certainly don't roll with the punches, although I have learned to in some degree. It's almost like I've had to go with my brain, now brain, you've got a routine, and in your flat, in this domain, you can have complete control of that routine. Outside of that, you've got no control. So I've told my brain to never expect what I want to happen. So I've kind of gone through life experience, remembered all the things that could go wrong, restored those forever. And then because I've stored all those, when something does go wrong, I can kind of work with those facts to jump through. It's almost like I've had to use logic for that part of the imagination on the pyramid of autism or the triad, whatever you prefer. So I've had to go through life experience, remember all the different things that have gone wrong, leave those in my brain and what I've done, and when something goes wrong, I can go, oh, that's what I did last time, I'm going to do it again now because it worked. Skill number 4, another one of my horrible things I'm not good at. This is really bad. This is just like reading off things that I'm not good at. This is horrible. But hey, that's what I'm here for, offering a perspective. Working memory. Working memory helps your child keep key information in mind. Now, I'm really rubbish at this because I have bad theory of mind, so I can't see other people's perceptions. So if someone says to me, this is really important, remember this. If my brain goes, actually, it's not important to you, and it just forgets it. There's no like deliberation. I don't go, we really should remember this, brain, no. But brain, this person really needs to know, no. It's just like that. It just goes no. And the other person's like, why haven't you remembered? I asked you to remind me. And I go, well, I forgot. Kids with working memory have trouble remembering directions, even if they're taking notes and they've repeated themselves. I have the worst sense of direction. In fact, I've lived in Redditch for, God knows, since I was 9. And I've been everywhere in Redditch pretty much. And I couldn't tell you where anything is. No way. I've been pretty much everywhere in Redditch at least more than once. And if anyone says to me, well, how do I get to this place? I'm like, what? What place? Don't know where it is. I'm dreadful. I can see it in my head, and I can see the other place, but everything in between is gone. But I can get there if I do it, because I go like, walk along. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But if someone goes, where is it? It's like, no, I just haven't got. Because when you go there, you can remember it in bits and dribs and drabs, because you just get jogged, your memory gets jogged. Whereas when you're asked for directions, it's like a load of information has to suddenly appear in your brain, and then you just like, I don't know. Here it is, guys. Number 5, self-monitoring. Self-monitoring allows your child to evaluate how they are doing. Now, this is something I've not that good at. I can't make myself self-monitor. It kind of has to happen naturally. If I'm at work and someone come up to me and say, now, here's a form, I want you to think about a time when this has happened and what you did and how it resolved. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, but can you think of a time when this has happened? And they're like, what? No. If I've done something wrong and I know it's wrong, I can go, why was that wrong? Why was it wrong? I can get it, but I can't just generally self-monitor. It's really, really difficult. So difficult. I remember doing my petals, and that's when I really learned to self-evaluate, because that's all you did, because it's all about teaching, and teachers are constantly self-evaluating. You're taught that frame of mind, and it was interesting because I finally got there, and it's really hard to self-monitor, because self-monitor you have to try and understand somebody else's perception of you, so you can get where you're going wrong. I think sometimes with self-monitoring, because it's about you. It's almost like being an out. For me, it's like I've got to imagine I'm watching myself doing my job, and it's like seeing somebody else's perspective, which is really hard for me to do. But if I can train my brain to think that way when I go into a situation, I can then think of areas where I can improve as I go, and it does work, and it does help me. It works for me. Kids with weak self-monitoring skills may be surprised by a bad grade of negative feedback. Exactly. Completely throws them off because they go through it. That was really good. Yeah, I did really well, and they go, because they're not. Because your brain says it's one thing, but what you actually write down, because you do so fast and there's no thought as well with written work, you just skip loads of words. I've done it before when I'm writing. The amount of times I mistype things and it doesn't make any sense is horrendous. But I have to read everything, so I just keep skipping words all the time. I'm dreadful at it. Number 6, planning and prioritising. Planning and prioritising help your child decide on a goal and plan to meet it. Now, I don't do planning. I tend to leave things to the side, and then I go, wake up when they go, oh poo, that's got to be done today. And I go, do it. Yay, it's done. I actually work better under pressure because I lack a lot of motivation. I just don't feel motivated because I don't prioritise and I don't think ahead, really. I just do it day at a time, because thinking a week ahead is just too much. I got one of those because I kept forgetting things. Well, no, I didn't get it. Jules bought it me. Is she good? But yeah, I'm getting better. And I find it hard to plan what's most important, because everything's got to be relevant to me. And what's more important to me is not necessarily homework, because I hate it. So I may think, what's going to help me out? Oh, my Xbox will, because that makes me happy. So I'm going to go on that for a few hours instead of doing homework, because that makes me happy. And homework does not make me happy. It makes me anxious. But because the thing is with anxiety is that when you've done the thing that makes you anxious, you feel better after you've done it. You don't think, you just kind of say no to it. That's what autistic people do. They just say no to things they just say no to things that make them anxious. Well, most people do. So instead of going, if I do my homework, I won't feel anxious anymore. That would be great. So you go, oh, I've done it. I'd probably go, no, no, no. Number 7, task initiation. If I have a question I've got to answer and it's too vague or general or whatever, I will struggle. It needs to be so specific so I can answer it. Yes, no questions are the best. Oh, I love them, I love them, I love them, I love them. Kids who have weak task initiation may freeze up because they have no idea where to begin. Exactly, and that's why the 8-second rule is my thing, because if you ask someone a question, if you ask someone a question, wait at least 8 seconds for them to answer it. If they don't answer it, guess what you do? You ask it again in a different way, or you break it down into smaller questions. Like I did today, I said to a boy today at school, at work, that they think may be a bit. They don't know, he's not doing it, but they're thinking that way. And I said to him, are you packed lunch or hot dinner for lunch? And he didn't answer. But I waited about, he's quite good. So I tried for about, he didn't answer, so I tried for about 6 or 7 seconds. I didn't go all that. I just said on the 8, bang on like 6 or 7 seconds. I was like, kind of like, do you have a lunchbox? He goes, yeah. So go and get it then. And that's sometimes all it needs. It's just the way you word the question. It's all it takes. And sometimes, and that's the thing with task initiation. He knew, as soon as I said get the lunchbox, and I went, instead of asking him one and thinking, oh, I've got a lunchbox, better go and get it, I said, do you have a lunchbox? Yeah. We go and get it then. Okay. I just made 2 questions out of 1 and he got the job done. No point. Break it down. Number 8. My worst thing in the world! Organisation. Organisation lets your child or person keep track of things physically and mentally. Well, I can't keep track of things physically and mentally because I never know where things are. I never know where I'm going, and I always feel like I'm in a different world, and I just forget everything. People or kids with weak organisation skills can lose the train of thought as well as their cell phone homework. That is me. Hands down. I literally will lose my phone while I'm using it. I will panic looking for it while I'm using it. I remember I did a Periscope talking to my phone like this, and I was like, where's my phone? And it was in my hand, and I was just talking to it, and I was like, I can't find my phone anywhere. And everyone on Periscope was laughing their heads off, going, haha, you're such an idiot. And I'm like, what are you on about? I can't find my phone. You guys seen it anywhere? And they're like, oh, I'm using it. I've done videos before about short-term memory. Like, I literally will be I'll go and do something, and then something will happen on the way, and then I'll sort that out, and I'll forget what I was going to do in the first place. I'm dreadful. I've got no train of thought. My train of thought is appalling. Anyway, that's me being Autistic Genius for another couple of days. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you've all had a fantastic week. Have a great weekend. Bye! Yeah!